What was that? Happy Monday, you guys. Welcome to Beyond the Veil. I'm Adina. Happy to meet you. If this is your first time here, if this is not your first time here, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Happy day of the moon to everybody. Blessings upon you all. Please, once you start getting in, let me know how you're doing. Now, if this is your first time here, some of you guys come in and you say, "What is this? What are you doing here?" I am a medium and a woo lady. Hey, Harvey Specter, how are you doing? And hey, Tiara. And I do channelings and readings on this channel. So if it's not your thing, God bless you on your way out. And if it is, you're welcome to stick around and be blessed as you stay. How's everybody doing this Monday? How's the beginning of the work week going for everybody? Nothing? You had a hard work day today, Harvey. I'm sorry to hear that, but it will be better this week. I mean, the rest of the week. Hey, JD Queen. How you doing this Monday, honey bunny? Honey bunches of oats. Unfortunately, I don't speak German, but if anybody is willing to teach me, I'm willing to learn. All right. My day has been pretty good. You got today off. That's good, Tiara. I'm glad you got today off. Actually, Tiara is experiencing a loss of someone close to her. So if you are kind, please put a heart in the chat for Tiara because we love her. And we, as the Blessed Babies, send our condolences to her. All right. So today's topic is a little bit sad, a lot of bit sad. I'm going to give you guys a little quick backstory of Tiara. I love that this summer you're outside, you're at the concerts. I love that you're doing amazing downtown shopping. I love that for you. I absolutely do. All right, so as I was mentioning, this is a really sad situation that I'm about to tap into, and I am going to handle it with love and compassion as much as I can. Thank you all. Thank you, JD, for putting hearts in the chat for Tiara. Hey, Phoenix. How's your day today, Phoenix? Phoenix. Trolls, how you guys doing this Monday? Let me know. Hey, Fahad. I like saying your name, Fahad. All right. Today I'm going to be discussing very briefly before I go into my members live a couple who um, who are no longer alive with us in the land of the living. Their name was I don't I think it's Jamarcus and Zart something. Their real names, but on Instagram and on social media, because they consider themselves to be social media personalities, they went by Dutchess Dior and her husband, the Frenchman. I believe that they had been together for 5 years, and it was a murder suicide, and it took place on live on Facebook Live. Um, the footage of the live leading up to the unaliving is all over social media, all over YouTube. You can type in Duchess Dior anywhere and find a video. and they'll be showing, it's like a 2 hour live that the Frenchman, the husband, did, exposing them both. And then towards the end, Duchess got on the live and she started exposing her own stuff. And before she could finish exposing whatever she needed to expose, her husband started telling her if she said something else, she was gonna die. And then she was just like, oh, why I gotta die about this? I ain't willing to die about this, y'all. So y'all ain't gonna get that tea. And then immediately the phone go, I guess he snatches the phone out of her hand. And then we find out that he took her life, and then he hopped in her car, left. The police pursued him, and then he took his own. JD, I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure everybody's seen it. So one of the things that interests me is that when he was exposing them both, he mentioned that there had been a woo lady involved. He was getting readings, and he said he had gotten some kind of reversal spell done, and he accused her of having somebody in her family wooing her. And I was like, she accused him of putting a love spell on her. Now, this is what led me to want to do this, because this this isn't the first time that I've heard a story about someone um, attempting to do something like that, and it led to somebody not living anymore. And whether that had anything to do with it or not, it's an unfortunate situation all around. But I'm curious, honestly, to know if that did have something to do with it, so it can be a cautionary tale about those things. Dina, did you see my message? It could just be a reflection. If I don't have anything in my nose, if that's what you said, it might be a reflection. But I didn't see your message. All right, so I'm curious. If you guys are curious too, let's take a little peek. Hey, pretty sissy, how are you this Monday? I seem sad, Mr. Muscles. I'm actually not, but thank you for being observant. Hey, Charlie Shields. New Feeman, 420. I'm doing excellent, sissy. I'm doing excellent. Even better now that you're here. All right, so let's talk about Dutchess, Dior, and the Frenchman. All right. Most High Mother and Father God, thank you for all of these people on my life, including the ones sent that have come here to troll me. Thank you for them also, for whatever contribution they make to the greater good. Thank you for everyone here on this live. Thank you for YouTube for allowing me to do this on their platform. And thank you for the lives of Dutchess, Dior, and the Frenchman. Spirit, Dutchess, Dior, and the Frenchman, they are no longer amongst the land of the living. The Frenchman, who was Duchess's husband, took both of their lives. And somewhere in the midst, he mentioned that there had been root work done amongst the both of them. Did that play any part in their outcome? Hi, Trans. All right. I'm just going to take a peek at an oracle to start. A new romantic cycle begins. These two shouldn't have been together. I heard a lot of people, at least from Dutchess's side, saying that she had been warned numerous times to leave him. You gotta watch their story and watch the live, sissy, if you haven't. Um, because he had admittedly been abusive. Like he was saying on the live, like, yeah, I beat her ass. I beat her. He was saying, he was like, because she's the type of bitch to get beat. That's what he said about his wife. And so they should not have been together. And I think that somebody said that she had left him, but she went back to the house to maybe get some stuff and see about the kids, because she had children before him, but she shared a daughter with him. Her name is, well, I'm going to leave the baby's name out, but they did share a daughter together. And so they were saying that's why she went back that day. But she was leaving him because he had been threatening, and people said that she had let some people close to her know that he had threatened multiple times to take her life, and that's why people were telling her again, in conjunction with the abuse, to leave him. They both were very, very, very toxic, unfortunately, and that's why a new romantic cycle begins. Now, I know he had went to jail or something for some time, and then he got out, and then there were problems about some of the things she was doing while he was locked up. That was the opportunity, I believe, for them to make a clean break from each other. But then he said he beat her up, and then they called a truce. He said they called a truce. He beat her up. She said for 3 days, over the course of 3 days, he beat her up and wouldn't let her leave. And then they called a truce and decided to let bygones be bygones and start over. So before any juju has anything to do with it, the biggest issue with them is that they should not have been together, fighting each other and giving each other sexually transmitted diseases, as it was alleged and confirmed by both of them, because that was some of the exposing that they were doing on their live. And he accused her of having a sexually transmitted disease. She confirmed that she did. Yes, JD. So why would they have been together still? A time for healing. When he was locked up, I believe that because she was doing her thing, she was outside, he was accusing her of seeing other people, and she was admitting to it even when he wasn't locked up. Hell, probably the whole time they were together, they both were doing their thing. But she did, according to her family, come around to the point where she felt like she needed to leave. She acknowledged at some point that they didn't need to be together anymore, which is why they shouldn't have been together, because she knew that it was time for them to be better apart. Hell, they both probably did. Your hard work is paying off. They had a lot of outside influence. So it didn't matter what they did to make it work. It was never going to work. And I'm only saying that because, for one, look how it ended. And for two, this card says that your hard work is paying off in reverse. meaning your hard work is not paying off and may never pay off. There was too much outside influence. Emotions are running high. And that is the live. Surrender to the divine. Emotions are running high. He went on live and exposed them because he had already made up his mind. I'm finna just tell it all because I'm about to take us out. That's why he was on live. And he knew, but she didn't. Yes, Sissy, it was. It was treatable, but not curable. So that's the really unfortunate part, because she was there entertaining that, not knowing that he already knew that by saying all of this, by putting all of our nasty laundry out, there is no turning back from this. That's the unfortunate part, that she didn't catch that. All right. Let's, thank you, Pontus. Let's take a little deeper dive. And then I'll head over to my members live. All right. I'm almost, they were really toxic, so I'm going to oil myself before I call them up here. All right. Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to conjure up the spirits, the souls, and the collective inner. No. They say don't call them together. Call him. Okay. Spirit says if you call him, you'll get the full truth. If you call her, you'll have to pull it out. All right. I don't know his name. I think it was Jamar. Let me find out. I don't know if they judge. Maybe. I never asked. Dutchess. Dior. Alright, I need the husband's name. Okay, her name was Zaria Khadijah Carr, and her husband's name was Shamarcus. Okay. Zari and Shamarcus. Zaria. All right, I'm going to call Shamarcus. Shamarcus Carr. Shamarcus Carr, from wherever you are, near or far. Please allow me to speak to the spirit, soul, and collective energy of Shamarcus Carr. Shamarcus Carr, talk to me about your final days here on this earth and what brought you to committing the acts that you did that caused you and your wife and the mother of your child, Zaria, to no longer be here. Not DeMarcus. Hey, Miss Carol. Yes, the same as Shamarcus. She was his officer in jail. She admitted that. She said that's how they met. She was his officer in jail. It seemed like she may have had a thing about dating men in jail, because I feel like I heard on the live either him or her mentioned somebody else that she was dating. Maybe before him, she was dating someone that she met in jail too. All right. Present position. This is a man who felt like the easiest way to say it is, if I can't have you, no one can. But it's almost like my property. They Maybe they were physically together for 4 years. Maybe he spent one locked up or close to one. But it's almost like he felt like ain't no breaking up. Ain't no breaking up. He was stuck. I feel like they got money together, and they did talk about a lot of the money and properties that they had. Um, so it seems like they did well together on paper. It's just the toxicity that got between them. This was a man who was stuck. This is where the woo comes in. And maybe this is just him and his type, but this is a man who was stuck. There was no other option. There was no breaking up, moving on, her having a better life without him. Challenge, I don't think that he wanted to see her move on and be happy with anyone else but him. I think that he wanted them to go down as the cars, the Dutchess, Dior, and the Frenchman. We in this together and we out this together. The problem also is the live. They both seem to live for social media, and they did call themselves influencers. So this is where I was picking up that too many other people were involved and invested, so they would have never been able to really heal, because they lived for the social media of it all. They like the hype. They like to go back and forth. They like the clout on social media, even though they were probably only locally known on social media. Toxic, toxic, toxic relationship on both parts. Very, very, very much toxic. I wonder, I know that they got money together and got properties and stuff. They must have laundered money together, or if it wasn't just laundered money, it feels like they did street stuff and then cleaned it with assets. That's where stuff got sticky. I also think that they both went to someone for some sort of spiritual stuff, but this person um, did bad alchemy. Whether they knew they did or not, they did some bad, very bad alchemy. I believe that this man intended to go on social media, let everything about them be exposed, and then take them both out. Ironically, he took her life and then he fled. So I think if it wasn't for the police pursuing him, he might not have taken his life. He exposed them, but she was exposed the worst, because she was exposed for having the incurable STD. He wanted to destroy her because she got a lot of clout on social media. So on social media, he wanted to ruin her memory before he left us with only her memory. I don't know. I would love to look at his chart, because this type of man scares me. This type of man reminds me of Andrew, my ex-business partner. The spite and the willing to need to win at all costs. Absolutely all costs, even if it's self-destructive. She was about to expose something that he said that she did a love spell on him. He said he went and got a reading, and the woo lady told him that somebody in his wife's family was doing bad juju on him. So he said he went and got reversal work done. So yes, they were both just doing all kinds of stuff, and this person or persons was absolutely alchemizing this situation into more toxicity. When you do consultations, there is a way, even if you see something as salacious as somebody's significant other betraying them, there is a way to handle it. Even telling the truth, there's a way to handle that truth and express it and communicate it without adding to the toxicity. Nevertheless, she was about to expose something. I know she was about to say that there was an attempt to rob his friend on his part, maybe their part together. And that's when the live ended. That's when he said in the background, "You gonna die." And she was like, "Why I gotta die? Because you don't want me exposing that tea?" And she was like, "All right, y'all, I ain't gonna expose that tea because I ain't trying to die behind it." And then next thing you know, it's like the phone goes crazy as if he snatched it. And then they don't show the rest. They didn't release the rest, but it's believed that he unalived her. I don't think he ended the live. He unalived her, took off. So that when the live ended, that's when it all went down. But it was ended so that she couldn't expose what she was about to expose. It's like he wanted to let all of their tea out, but he wanted to control what was let out. Once she got on the mic and started letting the stuff that he didn't let out, that's when he was like, all right, let's go. For real, permanently. He wanted to control, he wanted to expose her. I think that she was going to help him set up a friend. And that's what she was getting ready to say. She didn't say that she was helping, but I think she was going to help him set up his homeboy. He didn't want that exposed, which is why I think, again, he didn't intend on killing himself. Not until the police start pursuing him. If he was able to get away and make a clean getaway without the police catching up to him, I don't think he would have done it. Because he was the one saying, I'm exposing us both. He was making it seem, thank you, by Capricorn, he was making it seem like I'm letting it all out. But what he really let out really was more salacious towards her. He let out her sexual activities and her health status. It made it seem like this is why he beats her. This is why he's exposing her. This is abuse on every level, every type of abuse. But then when she's like, well, you're not exposing everything if this is what you're doing, he didn't want her to expose that. So it's not like I planned on taking us both out. He planned on taking her out. He planned on exposing her, making her look disgusting, and then taking her out, and then running away. And he wanted to do it on live. To really, really, really humiliate her. He wanted to keep that little setup situation a secret, and that's what made me change my stance on the fact that he had premeditated taking them both. He premeditated taking her. I think that a lot of people a lot of people are probably staying silent about the situation. It seems like people are staying quiet about some stuff, maybe some stuff that may have been stirred up while he was exposing stuff, but it's something that people are seeming to be hush hush about. Also, the Woo lady, I think she wants to be incognito and invisible right now. In his hopes and fears, he said he was exposing the both of them, but this isn't the tower moment. He wanted to expose her, and the stuff that he exposed about himself would seem like he's the victim, and everybody really only would focus on what he said about her. And this is him planning to do this. So taking them both was not premeditated, but taking her absolutely was. I think he stopped respecting her officially. Not saying that he ever really did, but in his own way, he stopped really truly being able to respect her when he found out about her health status. It seems like all of the money that they had at least started with him. I know he said something like when he got locked up, there was $100,000 on a cash app, and some stuff like that. So I think he was probably, doing whatever he was doing, and that's how they came up on some money. I want to start with the Temperance in reverse in the past. Like he said, after he got out of jail and he started finding out stuff about his baby mama, he went to the Woo lady, and she gave him advice and services. But this is behind that Temperance card of toxicity and somebody doing bad alchemy. I don't say bad juju, I say bad alchemy. Because their job was to diffuse the situation without, like, if I see your significant other cheating, I probably, after we get down to what it is, I'll say, okay, so, they'll probably say, well, what you think I should do? Well, I'll first ask, well, what would you like? Would you like to stay with this person, or would you like to break up? If they say stay with them, then I'll probably check and see what that's going to look like, and then give them some advice to try to make it work based on what I see. Now, if they say I would like to break up, then I would say, okay, then I can help you. I could do a cord cutting, and then that, so that you both can break up peacefully and heal, and protect, protection and all of that. I had someone, it was actually Andrew, my ex-business partner. He broke up with a girl, and he was doing business with her and tried to kick her out of the business too, like he did to me. And he asked me if I could hex her for him. And I said no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Why? Because you mad? This is how spiteful he was. He was like, I want you to do something to that bitch. Do something real, whatever you need to do something to that bitch. I was like, no. If anything, I'll do a healing ceremony on you so that you can heal and move on peacefully without holding on to this bitterness and desire for, a get back. If y'all broke up, then why you want to why you want to stab her even after y'all separated? So no, that's what I would do. But this person, this guy, he probably like wouldn't, he probably went to her and said something like, "Can you check and see if my wife or any of her people is doing witchcraft on me?" Now, people can ask that all the time, and people ask me that all the time, and a lot of the times I say no because I don't see that. Sometimes I do. If I, but if I don't entertain it, and I don't pretend like I do. And some people will, because some people, even in this community, they are chaos too. So they produce chaos. And so he asked for a reversal. I Y'all, anybody who's had the F around and find out with me knows how I feel about reversals, which is why the F around and find out is a 3-in-1. And so this is where the bad alchemy comes in, because if two people are doing woo on each other, you will get a reversal. All you're doing is reversing it. You're sending it back, but they're still sending fresh stuff to you. So it's like, if you go one time, say you go in June, and you say I want to do a reversal, well, whatever's been done to you up until June is going to be in reverse. But what if that person is still doing woo on you? What's going to happen in August, or So I wouldn't do that, because doing just reversals gets messy if you don't know how to do it, and sever and create a blockage for that person to be able to do any retaliation. This person also probably told him to move on. She probably, or they probably confirmed that there was cheating, probably between the both of them. And what she should have did, they should have did was say this relationship is toxic, and if you guys stay in it, this is what's going to happen in the future. But no, he walked away finding out that the wife family did woo on him, and then he got a reversal. Y'all be careful who y'all let touch y'all energetically, including some of the popular, well-known online spiritual gurus. Child. All right. And this situation about them setting up the friend, I want to end with that. She revealed something that isn't supposed to be revealed. No. He had planned on trying to get away with this, which is why he ended the live when she was trying to expose that he needed his face to be clean with this person. What was his name? Rob. I think his friend's name was Rob. He needed to not look like a setup man in the streets. He planned on getting away, and the way he was going to plan on making money on the run is setting up people and robbing people. So he needs to not have his name associated with robbing people, which is why that was a violation, which is why she wasn't supposed to expose that, because he was going to try to get away with this and survive, on the lam. But he needed to make money, so he was probably going to try to rob people to get money to, get away. Which is why he decided to take her life, with ending it. He was going to do it, which is why he decided to end that life then. All right. Before I go, Mr. Shamarcus, anything you'd like to say to the good people? Everybody who they dealt with needs to get checked. So everybody who knows, that's why I said people close to the situation, some people are quiet. Yeah, the people who screwed them. You all need to go and get checked, because you all probably have what he exposed her for and probably something else. Where did they live? Let me see where they lived. because I need to put a health warning out for the city that they lived in. Let me see real quick. He did say that she had herpes and she confirmed, but they were talking about their doctor's appointment and stuff, and she said something about an HP1, HP something. So I don't know if that's something you get in conjunction with herpes, or if that's something separate from herpes. The problem is they're in Georgia. Okay, I need to see where in Georgia. Twin City, Georgia. If you guys are in Twin City, Georgia, first of all, if you have a clean bill of health, please practice safe sex. And if you dealt with these people, Dutchess or the Frenchman, Zaria or Shamarcus, please go get checked. HSV and HPV, she had that because she said she did, and herpes. I asked this man if there's anything else he had to say, and he says a lot of people need to get checked. Collectively, between the two of them, it's so many people that they screwed, and even oral sex. And she was saying that he was a munch. He likes to give oral sex. If he ever just gave you oral sex, she also said that when she found out she had herpes, he licked it. So if he's giving you oral sex with that same tongue, and I'm just being 100 about this so that you all can be proactive about your health and be safe, please go get checked, because I do see here there are a lot of people that are hush-hush that know them, and probably because y'all slept with some of them. Let's see. Why are these people hush-hush? Who's hush-hush? People who had relations collectively between the two of them and don't want nobody to know. Because they probably one of the ones who has this. See that bandage around the head? I mean, they healing from something. They wounded. There may have been persistent rumors about Shamarcus having something incurable and deadly. I think they mentioned that on the live, but he was like, it's not confirmed. We just speaking facts. So there was at least rumors that she and him were aware of that he had something life-threatening, but he shut that down when she brought it up, because he was like, we're only speaking facts, and the facts is you have herpes. But she was saying, and bitches was saying you got AIDS. I don't know how long he was in jail, but he may have done some things with the same sex at some point, either in jail or outside of jail. Shamarcus, did you have AIDS, HIV, one of those? He has something that's unconfirmed, meaning he didn't get it confirmed when he was alive. But it's something that at least he believes he has that isn't amongst what he feels like his wife gave him. I'll say that. He never wanted to know. He never got checked for that one thing because he never wanted to know. But I believe he believed he did. I believe he did, and probably thinks that he may have passed it around. So anybody that ever dealt with either of them, go get checked. And with that being said, any questions or concerns before I wrap this up, like a lot of people may not have? cautionary tale about not practicing safe sex and not practicing safe spiritual practices. Getting spiritual STDs, sexual STDs. It's like the Wild Wild West out here, ain't it? What y'all doing? Y'all alright? Y'all just horny? Why everybody so horny and just humping like rabbits? Asia, I literally just got out of the shower and I definitely feel like taking a bleach bath. Listen, if you don't have enough discipline to not hump everything when you horny, then just do some safe measures. All right, no questions or concerns about this. That means I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for joining me. Let me think if there's anything I forgot to mention. Oh, I heard Beyonce took the car thingy out of her show today and then did a song called Amen Now in replace of 16 Carriages. I told you guys that she was going to make some alterations to the situation down at the Rock Nation and the Live Nation. But the trolls be saying I be lying. They be saying I be lying. Look at Andy talking about, and you hating. Andy, you hating. Look at you. Hating on a Monday. The week just started. You got a whole rest of the week to be mad at stuff like your boss, like a 15-minute break. But you in here hating. Because I can see into the future. Like, that's so Raven. Oh, bars. All right, before the trolls attacks me like The Walking Dead, I'm going to head on out, you guys. And I will see my members in the members live, and then I will see all of the rest of you guys on Wednesday. Love you, bye.